Friends, welcome to your weekly immigration news. It's August 3rd, 2020, and in this video, I'm going to cover the latest news around DACA, public charge, a major shakeup at ICE. We'll also talk about USCIS fee increase, and then last, we'll end it on a great note by talking about a new bill in New Jersey that would allow immigrants an opportunity to seek professional licenses. So that's your news summary for this week. Let's get right into it. DACA. It has been a major up and down roller coaster ride with DACA since President Trump came into office. Recently, the Supreme Court ruled against the Trump administration, and Trump said, well, we're going to regroup, we're going to present better arguments to the Supreme Court in a few months. And then he flip-flopped and said, well, let's start thinking about potentially a pathway to citizenship for dreamers. Then a federal judge ruled that DHS must begin to accept new DACA applications for those who were not previously enrolled in the program. And so we were all very excited about this great opportunity for people. And what happened on July 28th, guys, the administration issued this announcement: Department of Homeland Security will reject initial requests for DACA as it weighs future of the program. We were all like, whoa, where did that come from? Basically, guys, the government is now saying they will not follow the court order to allow new applications to come in to allow more people to enroll in DACA. No, in fact, what the government is saying here is that they will reject all initial requests for DACA and associated applications for employment authorization documents, that's the work permit. They'll also reject new and pending requests for advanced parole, absent exceptional circumstances, and they will limit the period of renewed deferred action granted pursuant to the DACA policy after the issuance of this memorandum to 1 year. And so they drill down even harder, right? And so this is really disappointing for a lot of people. And so the door has closed again to DACA for people who might be eligible for the program. If I have better news to report to you guys about DACA, I will be sure to get that back in front of you. ICE, guys, let's talk about ICE. ICE, as some of you may or may not know, had actually pulled back some of their enforcement efforts over the past few months because of the coronavirus pandemic. And Trump administration wasn't very happy about that, right? Because they wanted ICE to continue to be as aggressive as possible, even during a pandemic. Well, a major shakeup just happened at the top of leadership at the agency with respect to the acting director. He resigned, he stepped down, and this was very fast, guys, meaning that today a new person is actually going to step in and lead the agency right now. Kathy Kaverick, she's a Trump appointee at USCIS. She has moved into the role as chief of staff, and she's going to be handling things at ICE going forward. We'll see what until they appoint a new director. So that's interesting, right? The top guy at ICE is out. Why is he out? Well, there's speculation that he's out because he wasn't very aggressive. Although, for those of you who are on the ground in the community, that ICE has been aggressive, but apparently it wasn't aggressive enough for this president. So he's out. What else is going on? You may have seen a video that I did just recently about USCIS. USCIS has increased its fees on average by 20% across the board. There are some applications that are seeing a fee decrease, but overall, most of the application fees have gone up. And citizenship, guys, in particular, the cost of becoming a U.S. citizen just went up drastically. We're talking about 81% increase. So for those of you who are on the fence about whether or not to become a U.S. citizen, now is the time to really think about applying while the fee is still reasonable at $640, I believe, It's going up to $1,100, guys. To be more specific, it's going up to $1,160 if you file it online. But if you send in the paper form, it's $1,170. So the filing fees go into effect on October 2nd, 2020. So you still have time to pull things together and get your filing done. So check out my video on the fee increase. I'm going to link to it here, where I go into a lot of details about many of the forms that will have a significant fee increase. Now, let's talk about something good. Public charge, guys. I also reported out on this recently that a federal judge right here in New York blocked the Trump administration from enforcing the public charge rules here in America, and also for those who are abroad going through the visa process through the Department of State. Those rules are also on hold due to a preliminary injunction that was issued, and it's temporary, right? That's what preliminary injunctions are, temporary. And in this case, this injunction is in place only during the national emergency around coronavirus. So take advantage of this window of opportunity to also do your filing, so that you would not have to go through the awful process of submitting so much evidence to prove that you will not become a public charge here in America. So the USCIS also issued its guidance on this as well, and they said that any applications that are submitted to them on or after July 29th, those applications should not include the I-944 Declaration of Self-Sufficiency. And for anyone who had filed prior to July 29th, the government will not consider any of the public charge paperwork that you've submitted, right, and answers to their questions about whether or not you've ever been on public benefits. They would not consider those responses, and they will not consider the I-944 if it was submitted before July 29th. So that's good news. Take advantage of this while it's here. And then lastly, guys, in New Jersey, the Assembly and also the Senate, they passed a bill that would allow immigrants an opportunity to obtain licenses. And the Governor Murphy, is expected to sign this bill. And you know, the article that I have in front of you right now, it's framed pretty harshly. I do want to warn you, it's framed pretty harshly. It's not in favor, obviously, of the proposal, but in any event, it argues that there's this major concern that what they consider illegal immigrants are able to obtain professional licenses, then it's going to somehow take jobs away from American workers. That's the big concern that's raised in this article. But with this legislation, friends, it would allow folks who have the skills to obtain these professional licenses to do so without having to report out on what their status is, their immigration status is. So I want to end it on that note. So if you're in New Jersey and you're an accountant, a cosmetologist, or a pharmacist, you're able to now seek a professional license there. So friends, I hope you found this update helpful. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button now, share it with other people, and guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.